Okay. So welcome everyone to class number 3 of UCO, September 2024. There's been a whole lot of momentum on the chat, which is exciting. Everybody's really getting into it and it's awesome. And we're feeding off of each other's vibe, which is great, and getting things done, right? We're not going to get overwhelmed. We're not going to put it off any longer. We're just going to do it. So that's the goal. Last week, we talked about the dramatic triangle: victim, savior, persecutor, and how we can go in between that triangle, up and down and all around. And we talked about 3 questions to ask ourselves so we can get out of the dramatic triangle and stay out of it. They were, does anybody want to participate? Tell us what one of the questions is. Oh, Gio,
Number 1 is, did they ask for the help?
Imani, did you want to say the other one?
No, I was going to say that one.
Not the other ones. Okay. Does anyone else remember the other 2?
Can I help?
Sally, can I? Yes, very nice. And Yolanda?
Do I want to?
Do I want to? Awesome. So once we start asking ourselves those questions, and of course the rule is if even one of the answers to those questions is no, then we're not doing it. It's not recommended that we do it at all. Okay. So once we start doing less for the outside, we have so much more time for ourselves. It's like, wow, I didn't realize I did so much out there. All and everybody else's stuff. Now we're home and we're taking care of ourselves, prioritizing ourselves. So what does that offer us the time to do? Find pleasure, have fun, right? So many of us, life is so serious, and we work, and we do, and we take care of others, and we take care of our homes, and we have to pay our bills. We're very responsible. Life is serious, humdrum, as I like to call it, always doing the responsible thing. No fun, no play, no joy, but no. And when we can, when we're all over here with everybody's stuff and our own, we can say, I don't have time. I don't have time to hang out with my friends. Girl, I have such good friends and we haven't talked. We need to catch up. I haven't had the time to call them. And we say these things, girl, we need to get together. Nobody ever pulls out the calendar because the calendar is so full with all kinds of other things. We really legitimately feel we don't have the time. But now that we are using those questions, those 3 questions to get us out of that dramatic triangle, we have some free space in our schedule. So we want to use it to bring pleasure into our lives, joy. So why may we have lost our joy? Well, life's ups and downs, right? Sometimes very challenging events happen at once. Sometimes they happen in 3s, right? Our world is turned upside down. Health problems, losses, breakups, housing challenges, natural disasters, unemployment, all kind of things, illness, right? And those are stresses, traumatic events. Of course, our world is turned upside down. It's normal to feel a lack of joy. Most adults will experience severe trauma, multiple traumas and losses throughout their lives, right? In this context, sadly, it's part of the human experience now, right? But for some people, the lack of joy persists or it appears out of the blue. And usually that's called depression. Okay, so the inability to feel pleasure in our lives is actually one of the criteria for depression. If you're in a doctor's office and they ask, do you feel joy? Do you enjoy the things you used to do? If those questions are no, 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 the doctor usually says, oh, you have perhaps a mild case of depression. Approximately 8% of US adults will experience depression in a given year, and 20% an episode of depression during their lifetime. So we could be dealing with that. It could be a mild grade depression. It could be a severe depression where we need medical attention from. And so we may not have joy. But sometimes, and so that's medical. But sometimes it's just life has hit us so hard, or the way we were raised. Girl, stop that playing. Look, get in here and clean. You got to take care of your little brother. No playing outside. You got stuff to do. Did you do your homework? Did you do your project? And we're taught there's no time for play. A lot of people say, I didn't have a childhood. So they're raised to be serious, handle business, usually taking care of their parents' stuff, taking care of the kids that are their siblings, but they're forced to do all these big responsible things, cook, clean, as a responsibility, not as a chore helping out mom, but handling the household at 8, 9, 10, 12 years old. So there's no pleasure. So what are some pleasures in life? If we find ourselves in that category where we experience very little pleasure, let's talk about some pleasures in life that we could experience. Listening to music. Listen to your favorite music while you're relaxing, bathing, or doing, which is why I encourage people, you're going to do 15 to 20 minutes in your refrigerator, your closet, put your music on. Get going. It brings pleasure. It makes everything more pleasurable. Laughing. Laughter can change your mood and lighten up the environment. What if we live in a very serious household? Or perhaps everyone in the household suffers from a mild grade of depression or doesn't know how to have fun and laugh. We could put on a comedy movie that we like or a sitcom that makes us laugh, right? Sleeping in a freshly made bed. Ooh, that simple task in the morning, making our beds, can start our day off on a positive note. Simple little pleasures, not big, but small things that add pleasure to our life. Holding hands with a loved one if you're married, or if you're a mom and holding hands with, or an auntie or a grandma, holding hands with a child is like the sweetest thing ever. And it creates a sense of security and happiness. Enjoying a home-cooked meal, whether you cook it or someone else cooks it, can boost our mental and physical health, especially if we enjoy it. We sit at the table and enjoy it with people that we love, that build us up and make us feel good and laugh and have good conversation. Ooh, there's so much good in that. A cup of tea or coffee. A lot of people will hold their mug like this. It's like just having the mug warm. It just feeds them. It gives them great pleasure. One of my favorites, sunrises and sunsets. There's usually no two ever alike. Different colors, phenomenal. Things that make us feel awe, take our breath away. There's joy in that. So in the information for this class, UCO, we've talked about neurotransmitters. And we want to talk about the feel-good ones. What is a neurotransmitter? That's a big word. It's a chemical messenger in our brain that allows nerve cells to communicate with other cells in the body. And they can be feel-good neurotransmitters. So although the neurobiology of joy is complex, there are a few neurotransmitters that stand out in promoting positive feelings. A lot of them we've heard of: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. Right? Those are neurotransmitters. And the good news is that the changes to our lives that we make, little doses, can increase these neurotransmitter levels. For example, if we run, running can produce a runner's high. Can someone, there's someone in the chat that says she didn't get the Zoom information. Can someone send that to her in Telegram? Can someone repost the Zoom information, please? I think Elvin's gonna do it. Okay. So people, when they're running and they run for long, they say, oh, I had that runner's high. That's the body releasing oxytocin. And there's even the cuddle hormone makes you feel connected to others. So the effects of neurotransmitters on our body are broad, from relaxing your muscles to speeding up your heart rate, but they can result in promoting positive feelings, feeling good, feeling joy. And whether it's finding a sense of purpose in our lives or enjoying supporting relationships, the benefits of the mind and body are far-reaching, obviously, right? So how do you increase joy? Well, especially during difficult times, it's twice as important to modify your routine, allowing yourself to experience joy. Because, for instance, if a loved one is in the hospital, ooh, right away, emergency, and we visit, and we have to do it, and we have to pick up the slack, and we're concerned, and we want to talk to the doctor. Very difficult time, serious. But even in those times, we can allow ourselves to experience joy. One thing, physical activity, doing exercise, some type of aerobic activity that releases those feel good endorphins, right? Another one, and this is one of my favorites, discover something new. So as humans, we're hardwired to experience joy when we're experiencing something new, a novelty. So develop that pursuit to be curious. Oh, there's a new exhibit I see. Oh, online, there's a new exhibit. I was going to say in the newspaper. Who reads newspapers? And rather, you look online, wow, ooh, or there's a this going on, or that. Can I fit that into my schedule? That seems interesting. Do it. But be curious and discover new things. Give yourself permission to take a few minutes of pleasure, even if you're feeling low. Really, this requires us getting to know ourselves, because it could be reading a book, taking you far away. You're sitting at home, but your mind is far away. Sit in your garden, sit on a swing at a park and swing, lay in a hammock. And you notice the word, give yourself permission, because if we didn't grow up having fun, we were told, you got stuff to do. You don't have time for fun. Or life has just gotten away from us, so busy with so many things, legitimate things, caregiving of children, parents, work, all the things, our spiritual routine. A lot of times we have to give ourselves permission to do these pleasure things. It's okay. In fact, your body and mind require it. Let's do it. Okay. A joyful mindset. Pay attention to the good. So it's just like a rose. We could get so caught up in the thorns, ouch, that prick us, that we forget. Look at that beautiful hot pink, yellow, red, white rose. Gorgeous, right? But we focus more on the thorns. So we want to retrain our minds to have a joyful mindset where we look for the good. It takes practice. But the two people can look at the same situation. One comes out totally seeing the negative, and the other one says, but I saw this, this, and this, all the positive. Why? It's the mindset. But of course, if we focus on the good, pay attention to the good, we'll have more joy. We'll be happier. And then we want to limit negativity, whether it's a gossipy friend, co-worker, some toxic relationship with a family member, a complaining friend. You know who they are, and you see their number and you're like, oh, don't pick up. Set limits, set boundaries, because we want to limit the negativity and welcome the good. And we want to focus our efforts on what brings meaning to our lives. I was with my niece earlier. She loves animals. Her cat just had 3 kittens. She's in love. She's in awe. It totally considers, she gets all kind of personalized things for the kittens. That's her joy. I said, wow, you should try to like volunteer or work at a veterinary clinic, or foster some cats. And it just, her eyes light up. She has a very serious job, boring, but that's her joy. That's her passion, animals, especially kittens. So what are some of the benefits of joy? It strengthens our immune system, right? Decreases stress hormones. It improves pain, lessens pain, relieves depression. Finding joy can help you live long, of course, because you're enjoying every minute of the day despite our challenges. So they have long-lasting health benefits. So let's find ways to look for pleasure in our life. One is practicing self-care. Make self-care a priority. You know, we talk about that all the time. My 3 favorite words, I prioritize myself, right? Schedule time for yourself to reset. Very important. Today I laid down, I had 2 naps, but I really didn't nap. The first one, I laid there I couldn't sleep, but I put soft music on and just sitting there. I did my breathing exercise, laying. Breathing exercise. It was a moment when the house was quiet, right? Schedule that time to reset because I had a really busy morning. And then it's like, okay, Karen, and you have a busy afternoon, but take this 20 minutes. But it helped me to be on today, smiling, excited to see everybody, right? We have to get enough rest, manage our stress, do things that make us feel good. If we have more feel good in our day and our schedules, it manages stress better. The stress levels go down, even if it's just a few minutes. Some people do stretching at night or in the morning or exercise, but schedule it. Even if it's just sitting there, just sitting, a quiet moment, because we're all attached to our phones too, and it's ringing and it's buzzing. And silence the phone and take 15 to 20 minutes just for yourself. How about smiling? Remember we had that song, Just a Smile, the original song. Allow yourself to be carefree and find humor in everyday life. Laugh and enjoy your life. Also, 3, appreciate the small things. Again, cultivating an attitude of gratitude and mindfulness to appreciate even the small pleasures in life. Sitting outside, for me, feet in the grass, breeze on my face, sun kissing my cheeks, heaven, right? Carefree, not thinking about what I have to do, right in the moment, appreciating and enjoying it. They're small things, they're free. Our Creator gives it to us. He does that because He wants us to enjoy it. Being present is another one. Take the time to be present and connect with your emotions. How can we get to know who we are and what we like and what brings us pleasure if we're always on the run? Because we're running from ourselves. Give ourselves the time. Be present. What do I want right now? What do I need? But you got to be in the moment. Another one, connect with nature. Get outside, reconnect with nature. You can find joy. If there's a hill, roll down the hill. Have a good time. There's a swing. Get on the swing and pump yourself up as high as you can go. Whee! Right? Enjoy your life. But spending time in nature can be calming and rejuvenating, whether it's a walk in the park, gardening, sitting. Try to spend some time outdoors every day. For those of us that will soon experience cold weather, but even that, I say let's enjoy it to the fullest now, the nice weather, but even in the winter time, we can take walks and we can do things, enjoy the snow, right? There are things, people ski and do all kind of things and enjoy all the seasons. Another one is cultivate patience, especially with yourself. And I encourage you, especially with this UCO class, it's also a mirror to see how do I do with challenges, structure. Does it bother me? Do I buck up against it? Do I resist it? Do I get overwhelmed by it? Do I get sick by it? Some people experience physical sickness, but be patient with yourself and allow yourself to progress at your own pace. That's it. They're just looking at the page because life has gotten them all consumed. Jump in. We're on day 16. Today's September 16th. We're on day 16. Jump in at day 16. Organize your kitchen towels. Find happiness in the journey. It's a journey, but be patient with yourself because as you explore, you're going to find out what brings you joy, and even happiness ebbs and flows. But acknowledge your feelings and know it's okay to have ups and downs. We have our good days, we have our bad days, but if we cultivate joy and patience, the good days will be more profound in our minds. Another good one, and I know a lot of you agree with this, dancing, right? Provides a sense of pleasure and harmony. If you can get a partner, grab a partner, put on some music and or dance to your own beat. Dance by yourself. Enjoy it. Again, being present. And being present includes not thinking, if somebody looked through my window and saw me right now dancing around, what would they think? Forget about what they think. It doesn't matter. You're enjoying your life. Hopefully they say, ooh, I need to enjoy life like she's doing it. You ever see someone just in the moment, or children building blocks, playing hopscotch jacks like we used to back in the day, totally focused, That's where we need to be. That's mindfulness at its best, in the moment. And then another one is exploring new hobbies. It can add excitement to your life. Again, being curious, discover new passions. Right before we started, we were talking about jewelry making. Some people swim, some people crochet, whatever the thing is. Make a list of activities you've always wanted to try and try one this week or next week. Put it in your schedule. It brings us joy. And of course, prioritizing a healthy diet, right? Staying active and building positive relationships. About those vitamin people, very important. When we meet them, treasure, keep in touch with them. We have to surround ourselves with people who, and if you have people like that in your life, count it as a blessing and reach out to them more often. A text, a chat, whatever way possible. Keep in touch with them. They anchor us and they make us feel good, because in our lives, a lot of times in our spiritual lives, we give a lot to those who are not perhaps on our level of happiness or even spirituality. And that's good. But that's when we need our people, our vitamin people, our team, our group to keep us, right? And there's a real interchange. It's natural and organic. We don't have to work at it. And the last thing is managing stress and anxiety. We've talked about deep breathing here. I have a video on YouTube about diaphragmatic breathing from the diaphragm, not from the chest. It allows us to oxygenate our bodies, bring down the stress and anxiety, help us to get in the moment and stay in the moment. So we're not too excess in the future, excess in the back. Meditation, right? Of course, not emptying our minds, but even gratitude, thinking in that moment, what are 5 things I'm grateful for right now, right? And of course, we could talk to a counselor or a coach or a therapist, maintain a regular sleep schedule. A lot of us are working on that. Oh, I can't sleep at night, or I sleep very little, or I'm up till midnight doing stuff. I need to get myself in the bed. We can work on scheduling ourselves to get in the bed at a routine time so we could get our rest. When we're rested and we get ready for the next day, starts beautifully. We're full on, we're 100% there, and we can find more joy. You can't really be joyful if you've not gotten the right amount of sleep. So self-care promotes happiness and joy, and that equals pleasure in our lives. And that's what we want, and that's what our bodies and minds require. Because this life is to be enjoyed. It's serious. We do have a lot of responsibilities, things to take care of, but we have to add in pleasure and play and joy in our lives on a weekly basis. All right. For those who are seeing this recorded, enjoy. We hope the next class you're able to join in. We're going to stop, and now we're going to have the after hours discussion.